Hi, my name is Maddie and I'll be showing you how to do an anterior shoulder wrap. So this is most commonly seen to help limit the excessive forward motion of the shoulders and to help increase joint stability in the shoulders as well. So these are most commonly used in athletes who have had a history of joint instability or pain, especially in sports that involve contact or overhead motion or just really forceful arm movements. So this wrap can help protect the shoulder structures and can reduce the risk of shoulder dislocations or sprains while still allowing full function and mobility to participate in sports. So this wrap job is really easy because the only material that you need is just a large ACE bandage. So for this wrap job, you're just wrapping the AC joint of his acromion. So if you feel it on yourself, you can feel a projection just on the outside of your shoulder. So before we even start, you want your person to be in either a tight skin top, or if you're in a sporting event, you can have guys have just no shirt on, or you can have girls have a tight tank top or a sports bra on. It just makes it a lot easier to do the wrap and to get it completely compressed to their bodies so that it's the most workable and best it can be. So you're going to decide if you're doing an anterior or a posterior wrap. So for an anterior wrap, you're going to want to go on the front of the body. And if you're doing a posterior wrap, you're going to want to go on the back of the body. So as you see, I have to flip my hands for which side I'm going to be doing. Because if you're on the other side of their body as well, then it's not going to be the same on what hand you're doing. You have to focus on which way the roll is going. So when you have your person, you're going to have them stand with their hand on their hip and you're in like a little teapot position, and you want to make sure that their shoulder is completely neutral, because if it's too far forward or too far backwards, then it's going to be really hard to wrap yourself and it's just not going to work out as well. So you want them in completely neutral position, and then you're going to decide on what way you want your wrap. So I'm going anterior, so I'm going to start his wrap to the front of his body. So you don't want your wrap too far low on his arm or too far up, because if it's too far low, then you only really want a maximum of 2 wraps around. You're going to waste a lot of your roll just wrapping it around his body before you can even get it compressed to his body. And if it's too far up in his shoulder and in his armpit, then it's going to be really uncomfortable. So you're going to start right here, and you're going to kind of go on an upward diagonal, because if you go to downward diagonal, then you kind of get the weird kind of dogtail on the end like this, and that you really don't want that, because then it can fall out and just kind of get really weird. So again, anterior to his body, upward diagonal, pretty close to his shoulder. You're gonna wrap once, there's 1, and then you're gonna wrap twice, that's 2, up and around. Then you're gonna want to hit on his acromion. So you're gonna want to go up and around, up and over, hit that acromion. Then you're gonna go across the front of his chest, underneath his arm, across his back, and then go up and hit that acromion again. Then you're going to want to make sure that you're going under his armpit again, because if you don't do that, then the wrap is going to just start sliding up his neck and it's not going to stay very well. So I make sure you're going down and around again, and you're just going to keep following that same pattern over the chest, under his arm, and across his back. And then turn really fast. So you want to make sure that your wrap isn't going too low, or else that's not really going to be helpful or compress his body. You want to make sure it's going completely up. He's going to keep going. Cross. Okay, sorry, continuing on. So you're just going to keep going across the back to the front. And then once you run out, so it kind of ended right here, your Velcro should just be able to hit nicely on his shoulder. So now, as you can see, he has this kind of covered his nice diamond, but there's a nice diamond correctly over his acromion right here. This kind of makes it look a little strange, but then you have the complete front. So this is, again, an anterior wrap, and then sometimes you can have this little weird shoulder thing, which could be really uncomfortable if they're playing sports. So you want to try and fix that, but it lays really nicely up and under, completely straight on his back, and it looks good. So again, you don't want to bring it too low on his body. You want to make sure you have that diamond. You want to come around and repeat. Don't forget to come completely underneath his shoulder. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you.